Winter is here. The colder it gets, the more ways you need to keep warm. Now if you're anything like me, you're going to want to snuggle up. If you won't snuggle you on an empty stomach, that's where I come in.
Hey, I'm Veripi Kauta, and I'm a student at the Institute of Culinary Arts. I absolutely adore food and everything about it. But above all else, I think I love fresh ingredients so much more.
Now the dish I've prepared for you today is a vanilla stuffed pork. Beautiful, beautiful pork chop stuffed with various veggies. Let's get into it. So, got your brilliant pork chop right here. Nice succulent, locally sourced. Now, because it's a special occasion, you want to snuggle. You're gonna have to trim it and make it look good. Now, I like to trim off here, the top. But you want to leave a little bit of that fat still there. And don't worry, it's not a waste. You can make brilliant sandwiches out of this guy. So, what you want to do is cut behind the fat, but not at the edges, just so you can get in there. So just like that, nice and easy. Take your time with it, and get behind the fat. You're gonna need a nice sharp knife, and be careful, because your hands get cold, and you don't notice when you hurt yourself. So you need to be very careful. There we go. Now you're gonna want to pull this guy out. You see that? Cut behind the fat. Now you want to pull this guy out, and you want to cut a little pocket going straight in. So be very careful and take your time with it for a good reason. So cut in there. Then I'm going to stick my knife in, just like that, with my hand there. Be very careful and push slowly and cut. The aim is to make a pocket, so you want to get in there without breaking the other side. Look at that. Skill. So you want to get in there. Now we have this beautiful, beautiful looking pocket. Look at that. We're going to use him in a minute. And now we're going to go on to making the stuffing itself. So, first things first, my favorite, garlic. Let's peel this guy off. Let's use about 2 cloves. No one wants garlic breath when you're snuggling. How do you? No. I love garlic, but you gotta be very cautious with how you use it. Okay, so we're just gonna peel the skin off. Brilliant. And this is a very rustic dish, so you just want to give it a rough little chop there so you can identify that it's garlic. So no stress. It's gonna soften when it cooks. Now just put this guy together in a little bowl. Now, next thing you're gonna want to use is butter. Now they say butter and cream make the world go round, or at least for chefs. So, then we're gonna take a little spring onion. I prefer to use white baby spring onion. It's a lot sweeter, and the flavors are just amazing. Now you're just gonna want to give this guy a sort of finest chop, more like a medium chop. You don't want to bite into a whole spring onion. Not pleasant. I've done it. You don't want to do that. So, get this in there. Lovely. Now we are going to take some rosa tomato. If you pay attention to the flavors here, we're moving to the sweeter side of life. Rosa tomato, brilliantly sweet. Spring onions got a nice sweetness to it. And now the rosa tomatoes. Lovely. Get those guys in there. And now I'm gonna cheat and use a little bit of our outside base for the filling. Just so that you have an identical twin in there. So like give him a nice rough chop of this beautiful yellow pepper, gives it some color, and look at that. Now pop in a little bit of salt. I use Maldon salt. I love Maldon salt. Brilliant, crunchy, not too harsh. That looks good, but we need a little something extra, something to send it over the top. Enter the parsley. Now you're just gonna wanna just cut them off, you know. The more time you spend in the kitchen, you're wasting valuable snuggle time. You're getting colder, she's getting tired and hungry. So just break them up, just throw them in there.
Next, we're gonna slice up some vanilla, toss it in our filling, then use that to stuff our pork, and you're good to fry. Make sure you give it some good color, and then turn it over. Then into the oven for about 6 minutes. Yummy.
And now we're gonna make ourselves my personalized reduction. So, first things first, a nice wide pan. A little bit of JC LaRue, a little bit of bubbly. It has sweetness and brilliant flavor. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of soy sauce. Now this one is high sodium, but I recommend you use low sodium. So because it's so high, I'm just gonna put a touch, just a splash. And then lastly, we're gonna add a generous amount of balsamic vinegar. Beautiful. And like I said earlier, we're going for sweetness. So what you want to do is add some blueberries. This is what makes mine so special. Just a couple of blueberries for that extra sweetness and deep flavor. And like everything else in life, a little flavor, just a pinch of salt. Sounds odd, I know, but it balances out the sweetness and the sharpness of the wine. And now we're gonna leave this on the heat until nice and thick. And now we need something, a little bit of crunch, a little bit more vanilla flavor. So we need some veggies on the side. I'm gonna use beautiful carrot. Now this one's already been peeled. Naturally you have to peel your carrots. And then we're gonna top and tail it. Just cut this end off. Cut that end off. Get rid of that ball. Now this is a bit long, so I'm gonna cut it in half again. And I wanna cut it lengthwise in half. If you have smaller carrots, or preferably baby carrots, those would work beautifully. Rainbow carrots are the best. Now I'm just gonna quarter these guys. Whole carrots work too, so don't worry, it's still fine. And with these guys, I'm gonna be serving up some pepper. That's what I meant by let me cheat and add it to the stuffing, so it has a twin. Now you get it. And then you're gonna wanna cut this guy into sort of thickest strips. So these are gonna be the guys that are gonna go with the main dish. So these guys, the peppers, we're gonna leave raw for that beautiful crunch, texture, and sweetness.
Be sure to boil your carrots with the leftover vanilla parts. When they're cooked, you're ready to plate. Start with your salad. Next, put in the yellow peppers. Then, those beautiful cooked carrots. Put the lovely meat on top and drape over our beautiful reduction. She's gonna want more, so let's give her the whole thing. Then garnish with some baby micros. And there you go. A beautiful meal for a beautiful occasion.